Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on this rainy day. On today's program, we will be joined by Kait LeDonne of LeDonne Marketing. Kait will be sharing with us some books that she has found worthwhile for entrepreneurs. So before we bring Kait on, though, we have some highlighted things that we want to share with everyone. Well, for all those attendees who joined us during our Tax Speaker 1040 seminars, we had a raffle for an annual subscription to the Taxbook Web Library. This is like a $259 value, really a great resource. Well, I'm happy to say we pulled the name of the winner on Monday, and the winner was Mary Thomas of Smythe and Ward CPA. And I just want to send my congratulations to Mary. And when I sent her the email, she was very excited. You know, it's interesting when you always get a winner, they always say, we never win anything. So there you go. So everybody's a winner at one time. So that's one great thing. Also, I was contacted by the state of Maryland on Monday about two issues. Apparently not all the software that we'll be using during this tax season is ready to deal with the Maryland issue about the decoupling of the itemized versus the standard deduction. So specifically, Pro Systems of CCH is not working properly. So, and they're actually having some issues, and they're still doing some testing with the state of Maryland. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that don't go in there and start doing tax returns without doing your due diligence of checking out these returns. Really do some good sampling returns and really put it through the ringer before you really feel comfortable, because, and again, I don't know if we'll ever feel comfortable with our tax software this season. But anyway, but like I said, make sure you do some heavy testing, because not everything is ready yet. And they are still doing the state of Maryland is still working with some of the vendors. In addition to that, we received a notice from the Maryland Health Benefit Exchange, and they just asked us to remind everybody that Marylanders who were uninsured in 2018 may still face a penalty this tax season unless they qualify for an exemption. The new tax cut legislation pertains to Marylanders who are uninsured for 2019. The law does not repeal the individual mandate for 2019, but it does zero out both the dollar amount and percentage of income penalties imposed by the mandate. Now, if you wanted to get more information on this, they sent the let me get these initials right. MHBE, that's their acronym, sent us a lot of links which will help you through this process. And I think we're going to be showing that website up on the screen shortly. And it's visit marylandhealthconnection.gov/taxes. And you can get a lot of information there. Also, this week, you received an email from us that we're going to be rebroadcasting some of our hot topics that we had in 2018. I was astounded. We sent this out on Tuesday. By Tuesday evening, we had 25 people already signed up. That was in like 12 hours. So these are some great topics. So if you haven't had a chance to register, again, you can do these in the comfort of the office. You don't have to travel, and we're going to get them all done before the 31st of January. But so we're going to be really doing some hot topics. So today we're going to do our first one. It's going to be on depreciation, and that's going to be from 1 to 3 today. So if you want to get that information, you have to get on right away on our website and get registered. After that, on Monday, we have the critical retirement, and that's from 2 to 4 on Monday. And then Maryland income tax update. That is the really hot one. I mean, I think we're up to like 32 people when I checked it last night. I mean, that's a real hot topic. So that's 12 to 2 on next Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we're going to close it out with international tax with Frost and Associates. And that's going to be from 10 to 2 on the 30th. So again, these are ones we hosted in 2018 that we're going to do again because of the hot topics and the content that they provide us. Now, lastly, again, IRS is always challenging MSATP to really bring us to the game. And last week, IRS released guidance on a large number of 199A issues. Because of this, MSATP has quickly put together a comprehensive 3-hour seminar/webinar on February 13th. I know it's crazy, but that's what we do. So, and we're going to be offering it to our members at the low price of $135. Now we're still pounding out the location, but again, it's going to be a webinar as well as a seminar. So if you are located in Ocean City, and I know it's going to be on this side of the bridge, and you can't attend, that's okay. We're going to have it. We're going to do it as a webinar as well, so that we can actually help all of our members with this very, very important information. And again, and I'm really excited about this. So we were able to hire Dennis Ponton, who's a CPA out of Virginia. Now, you probably know the name. Dennis has done presentations for other organizations, MACPA, the Virginia Society of CPAs. But the real key thing here is that Dennis was previously authored on a synopsis of the 199A deduction that was featured in the April 2018 edition of the MACPA statement. He has developed worksheets concerning this issue, and I'm telling you, he is really going to come to the table with some really great knowledge and some details that you do not want to miss. So we're very excited that we were able to get Dennis to join us and do this presentation for us. So again, we are still hammering out some of the final details on the location. So the registration, you can start registering for this event or tomorrow. So we're trying to get everything going. But again, those people who are on this program, you are getting the hot information because it's not even out to the membership yet. So this is some hot stuff. So now I'm going to drop off because I'm here attending a fraud examiners event at Martin's West. And so you can see me in the background, and you all know that wallpaper. And so from this point on, Kait LeDonne is going to take over and guide you through these great books that she's got in mind for us to, to relax and take and read. Good morning, Kait.
Good morning, Sandy. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you for taking over the show for me for this little bit so I can jump back in the class. And it's always a pleasure seeing you. And I am going to rewatch this portion because I'm going to miss it so I can get some of those books so I can start hearing about it and learning about it. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. Guys, I know that 2019 and the new year is always a time where, as business owners and entrepreneurs, we seek resources to help better ourselves, develop ourselves as business owners, develop our companies. So we put an APB out on LinkedIn, and over 15,000 entrepreneurs from around the world saw it and responded to the question, what is the most impactful book you've ever read in business? So that's where we came up with these list of top 5. Some of them are my personal favorites, but they are in no means a result of just my suggestion. We actually went through all the comments and then deduced, okay, what are the top 5 that keep showing up in recommendations? So we're actually going to get started with the ones that appeared the most frequently. So coming in at number 1 as the top most rated impactful book that entrepreneurs said that they have read is Mindset by Carol S. Dweck. Mindset by Carol S. Dweck. And after decades of research, this Stanford University professor and psychologist, Carol S. Dweck, discovered a simple but groundbreaking idea, which is the power of mindset. Essentially, she puts forth that people who view abilities as fixed versus those who have a growth mindset are going to perform completely different. And in the book, she goes through this with anecdotes and examples of this. Again, by and large, this is the one that entrepreneurs said that made the biggest difference for them. Really, really challenges you to take a look at the circumstances that happen in business and encourage you to think differently about that instead of just focusing on the things that happen. So again, that's Mindset by Carol S. Dweck. The second one that came in as a heavy hitter recommendation is The Go Giver. And this is by Bob Berg and John David Mann. And essentially, it's an anecdote about a young man, Joe, who really yearns for success, and he's a true go-getter. So he's going out there and he's hustling. And in the book, he meets a few different individuals, all of whom are go-givers, meaning they constantly seek to add value to the people they come into contact with. And he learns a lot of lessons from them. And no surprise, given the title, sees that instead of go-getting, if you focus on giving to people, that's actually how you succeed. Again, all of these books that I'm going through today are kind of classics, so you might have heard of them, but this is definitely one where people said it just rocked their world. in the comment section of this post. So that's The Go-Giver by Bob Burg and John David Mann. The third one is a very personal favorite of mine, especially in marketing, but as an entrepreneur, I remember reading it and just loving it. And many of you probably saw his TED Talk. This is Start With Why by Simon Sinek. This was one of the, I don't know if it's still like the top rated or top watched TED Talk, but it certainly, when he came out with it, it was like #1 for a while. So Simon Sinek in this book really dives into the golden circle principle and how on companies that are focusing on the how or the what are going to lose out to companies that really keep their purpose, their mission in the why in their center. So he goes through the different examples of this and how companies like Apple have succeeded because of it, how inventors like the Wright brothers in flight, how this really, really worked for them, even though they didn't have the resources that other folks had to launch that vision. So definitely a classic book. Again, if you want to tiptoe into the philosophy before committing to reading the whole book, I highly suggest that you watch the TED Talk. This is a really, really great one to watch to get you connected back to those early days of entrepreneurship in your tax preparing and accounting businesses of why did I start this and what really matters to me, and gets you rejuvenated. The fourth one is also a very personal favorite of mine, and I know many of you in the society are aware of it because I think it was at the core of the Business Builders think tank, but this is The E-Myth, and The E-Myth Revisited by Michael E. Gerber is a fantastic read about scaling businesses. And in the business, he follows entrepreneur Sarah, who has a pie shop, and he really explores the notion of how every entrepreneur is conflicted with wearing 3 different roles: being the technician, being the manager, and being the entrepreneur. It's totally a book about processes and systems, even if you're a one-person shop, how to make sure that you're setting up those processes and systems so you can scale and grow and ultimately, if you so choose, sell the business. He also harkens a lot to McDonald's founder, Roy Kroc. Ooh, sorry, that I don't know that right off the top of my head, but he really explains why McDonald's took off like it did and how everything down to the millisecond of how they fry their fries was so systematized, and how that really, really worked in McDonald's favor when they were growing and scaling the business. So again, that's E-Myth Revisited by Michael E. Gerber. And if you like this book, and if you like the principles they're talking about, look at the Business Builders think tank. These are groups that you don't want to miss, and they talk about principles just like this in a support setting with MSATP to show you how to grow and scale your business. Now, lastly, coming in at #5, a very, very highly rated book is Innovation and Entrepreneurship, Practice and Principles by Peter F. Drucker. Many of you are familiar with him as a foremost thought leader in entrepreneurship and management. And in this book, Innovation and Entrepreneurship, he really looks at both of them as a purposeful and systematic discipline. So it's a classic book. A lot of people said they read this years ago, but it stands the test of time. And the principles that he talks about in terms of looking at innovation as a system is really going to equip us well, as a lot of things are changing in the accounting world, right? We're looking at new softwares like Xero. We're dealing with new systems like Google Apps. We're dealing with the transitioning of clients and things like that. So this book will really help you support and lean into that. Another fantastic book around change, although this didn't make the top 5 list, and I'm surprised because a lot of people love it, is Who Moved My Cheese? I don't know the author on that one because I didn't have it on my little list here, but Who Moved My Cheese is a wonderful, very quippy, short read about embracing change and really not feeling at the victim side of that or at the effect of it, but stepping in and embracing it for everything it is. So again, let's run down that list, 1 through 5, coming to you from entrepreneurs all over the world. #1, Mindset. #2, Go-Giver. #3, Start With Why. #4, The E-Myth Revisited. And coming in, rounding the bend at #5, Innovation and Entrepreneurship by Peter F. Drucker. Any of these books will be available. I think we're recapping this through a blog post so you can look at them. I'm sure we'll put in links for where you can go buy them. Amazon, naturally. So that's it for me if we don't have any questions about books. But I encourage all of you who are watching this later on replay, drop into the comment section which book has made the biggest difference for you as an entrepreneur. I'd love to get an MSATP specific list going too. And before we sign off today, we have one last announcement, and that is a little bit of change of scheduling for this program next week. Generally, as you know, because you're tuning in live now, the sessions happen at 9 a.m. on Thursday. Next week, we're going to be joined by Eli Knopf of Frost & Associates, and it will be happening Wednesday at 9 a.m. That's Wednesday, January 30th, not next Thursday, January 31st. With that, I think that we are wrapped up and ready to go. So guys, I hope you have a fantastic week. Check out those books. Let me know which books makes the biggest difference for you, and we'll see you then. Bye.